Hey, it's Serena again, and I'm here to talk to you about the hypnosis box in your living room. You know the one I'm talking about. They keep making them bigger and flatter, and they have these really nifty controls. The television. Now, why would I call it a hypnosis box? Well, there's a lot of really great comparisons. Think about old-time traditional hypnosis. What would the hypnotist do? He would say, "Look deep into my eyes. Stare at this watch. Listen only to the sound of my voice. As you begin to feel very sleepy, very tired, and you get entranced and mesmerized by looking only where he tells you to look and listening only to what he tells you to listen to and feeling what he's telling you to feel." Maybe when we're watching television, we're so entranced in this box. We're only looking where it's telling us to look. We're only listening to what it's having us listen to. And we're feeling whatever it's leading us to feel. Even a movie, you can become so entranced in a movie that you actually feel excitement, feel scared, feel happy, feel sad. It's not actually happening to you. It's not even going on in the room with you, but you're so involved with what's happening, you are truly entranced in the experience. So now think about the news. Would they stoop so low as to try to influence you in this way, hypnotizing you, so to speak, to feel and think what they want you to feel and think? Well, first of all, they direct your attention to what it is that they want you to pay attention to. There's many newsworthy stories that simply never make the air. They don't really want you looking at that. Maybe what's going on with the North Dakota pipeline isn't something they really want you to pay attention to, because it's their agenda. The people who own the media, the people who own the fossil fuel companies, and often have their hands in politicians' pockets, don't want you to be thinking about that or getting upset about that, because their agenda is to get this pipeline going. Then there's other things they do want you to pay attention to. Not necessarily because it's newsworthy, but because it distracts you from looking at other news sources or looking at things that really maybe matter. We're getting caught up in drama and silly things like that. Now, the plot thickens even a little bit more. So, NLP has been introduced to not only NLP practitioners for therapeutic reasons, but even more so for sales and to influence people through the media. Even politicians learn NLP. What the heck is NLP? Well, it's a term that was coined by a guy named Richard Bandler and a guy named John Grinder back in the 70s. NLP stands for Neuro-Linguistic Programming. So it's a way of using language to influence the subconscious mind in a way that creates new feeling. That's the neurology part. How are they using this? There's 1,000 ways, all of which I probably don't even know myself, but I can tell you a couple. So your unconscious mind is so much smarter than your conscious mind, and your conscious mind can't even track what it's taking in and learning and putting together through what it's exposed to. So let me just give you a really simple example. Say there's a guy speaking on stage, and he's selling some products, and he wants you on board with what he's selling because he's going to make some money. And he wants you to feel really good about what he's selling. So he sets the stage, so to speak. He goes over and he stands on the left-hand side of the stage. And he tells you this really funny story, and it's really heartwarming, and you feel really good, and it pulls all of your emotional heartstrings as he's telling you this story. And then he walks over to the right side of the stage, and he tells you a very sad story. It's depressing or upsetting, maybe even makes you a little irritated or angry. Excuse me. Now he's ready to sell you his product. Your unconscious mind makes all kinds of links. It puts things together that aren't logical, that have no, there's no way for our conscious mind to analyze what it's doing. So when he wants to sell you his product, he simply walks back over to the part of the stage where he told you that really funny, heartwarming, great feeling story, and he starts talking about his product. Now that's called a spatial anchor. There's all different kinds of anchors. That's one particular type of anchor. So when he's standing where he told you that heartwarming, good feeling story while he's selling you your product, for some reason you just feel really good about what he's selling, but you don't know why. Because that's speaking to the unconscious mind. His words may be speaking to your conscious mind, but his behavior, his language, where he's standing, all of these other things are speaking to the unconscious mind. A little bit sneaky? Yeah. Do people do it every day? Most of the time we figure out how to manipulate people, get them to feel how we want them to feel, and we don't even know how we're doing it ourselves. Some people are just naturally good at persuading people. But let me tell you, there's plenty of people who have studied NLP, who have studied conversational hypnosis, which is something we'll get into in another video, and they're trying on purpose to get you to feel a certain way, to think a certain way, to react a certain way, so that they can create the effect that they want in society. I think that's actually more clever hypnosis than going to a stage performer or going to a hypnotherapist who tells you, yes, we're going to use hypnosis to do what you want to do with your mind. We are all being hypnotized by the television box, people, and that is no joke. But the great news is, if you want to take control of your own mind, all you have to do is turn that television off. Maybe look at some other alternative sources of news. Maybe those ones that aren't what the media wants you to watch aren't so crazy after all. Or maybe they are, but just because they seem crazy doesn't necessarily mean that they're not true. It's just not what they want you to look at. It's like the magician. Look over here while you're not noticing the magic over here. And it's all an illusion. So take back control, turn off your TV, and go take a walk in nature, check something out, do your own homework, read a book, and take control back of your life and most of all, your mind. See you next time. Sayonara.